It's important to realise that one can live a fulfilling life without religion, where the focus is on human beings.
Humanism, of course, is not a religion. It's something which bases itself on a commonsensical view of the world. It's an open-eyed view. It takes seriously the facts about human beings and their experiences and tries to do the best on that basis.
A humanist sees the world as infinitely precious and quite extraordinary and almost miraculous.
I think humanism is important because having a non-superstitious worldview allows you to go about your own business, making ethical choices based on a general desire to, do the most possible good.
I view the world as a place where I'm extremely lucky to have been born and to have a consciousness, because there are so many wonderful things to be conscious of.
We can be decent human beings and love and care and support each other and not expect a fantasy to fulfil our hopes and our dreams when we can actually live them in this lifetime.
Some people worry that a view of death as being the total and final end of life can be depressing. They think it would be a more comforting thought that life went on. But I think, and many other humanists think, that rather than robbing life of its meaning, giving a finality to the story of your life actually imbues it with greater meaning.
If there's something frightening about death, it's the idea of eternity. Something about everything just going on forever and ever and ever. That's a frightening thought. And it's just as frightening if you're there as if you're not.
It just means that we have this life and we make the most of it. If anything, that's a positive. So we don't say, if we muck it up this life, we have an afterlife. The onus is on us to lead better lives in this life.
The morality question is another one where people think, well, we've got to have religion or we'll all be immoral. That's a very shallow and hasty way of thinking, it seems to me. There are all sorts of guides to morality.
People often think that you can't have morals unless there's a God to enforce them somehow. Look at classical antiquity, nearly 1,000 years before Christianity became the official outlook of Europe. You had people who based their morality on reason.
There are enormous tracts, ranges, mountain ranges of meaning that are available to us that without our needing to go to the Bible for them.
I guess humanism is the beginning of a life of trying to live well and be good. And the thought that you need some mistranslated, oft-translated doctrine to tell you that that's a good way to live is not just surprising but slightly abhorrent to me, if you can have something that's slightly abhorrent.
The humanist views the world in a rational manner. It's wondrous, it's astonishing, awe-inspiring, yes, at times fearsome, but a humanist says, well, let's try and understand the world.
If you believe that we live in a universe which is a natural phenomenon, which behaves according to certain discoverable natural laws and norms, then of course the only way of finding out true facts about reality is through the scientific endeavour.
Humanists hold science in very high regard because science is the careful, open-minded approach to trying to understand the world and human beings in it. It's a method of critical inquiry which is always ready to change its mind when better facts come along.
It is a method of communication from one generation to another, building on layers of knowledge on a really solid foundation.
Science is not only the way to go if you want to discover the truth about something. Science is also wonderful. I mean, science actually exposes how wonderful the universe is and what a wonderful privilege it is that every one of us has the opportunity to understand the universe in which we live, where we came from, why we exist, and where we're going. It's just a wonderful, thrilling experience to immerse yourself in modern science. It's a poetic experience. Science is the poetry of reality.
One of the natural consequences of humanism, of the idea that the human race is one species, of the idea that every individual member of that species is a bearer of the dignity that humanity gives us, is a general spirit of inclusiveness, and that's always characterised humanist thinking.
Unlike many religions which are unfortunately about, repressing sexuality and having very anti-female and homophobic perspectives, humanism offers an alternative which is actually inclusive.
Humanists begin to think about the good and flourishing life on the basis of their best understanding of how things are for human beings. But that doesn't mean that it's got a particular line, a particular doctrine that everybody has to fall in with. In fact, it demands of people that they think for themselves.
We have power in our hands to make our life and our society and our world better. We know it's down to us. There's nobody else, no good getting on your knees begging for somebody else to do something. It's just up to us.